Good morning, and welcome to Thoughts Can Change Your Life with me, Reverend Lee. Today, I'm going to chat about the idea about our words, that which we speak. And I want you to know your words, my words, everyone's words matter. Because our words are expressions of our thoughts. And the more we talk about something, the more we tell what our beliefs are. You see, what we speak most tells what we believe most and where we focus. And get this, where we focus our awareness, we give life. So if you're focusing on your body and illness, you're giving your illness life. If you're focusing on your bank account and what's not there, you're giving lack life. Are you hearing it? Are you really hearing what we're saying? Where you focus gives life. So I want you to picture an image. Picture that you walk into a warehouse. And this warehouse is so big. Let's just create a warehouse, 100 million square feet. And not only is this warehouse big, long, and width, but height as well. And you walk in, and when you walk in and you shut that door, it's pitch black. And you see nothing. But if you have a flashlight and you shine that flashlight, wherever you focus it, you see what's on the shelves in the warehouse. The second you take your focus you take that light off of where you were focusing, what you were focusing on both prior disappears. This is exactly what happens in our life, but we don't let it happen. What we do, because we have these egos, yes, we do. We refocus our flashlight, but we bring in the old image that's no longer there. You see, your flashlight is like your words. They tell your belief. You're giving your focus to it. Your focus gives life. It creates the picture. So I ask the question, where do you struggle the most in your life? And if you're struggling there, what's your focus on what you're struggling? Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind said so clearly, turn away, turn completely away, 180 degrees away from what you're experiencing that you don't want, and put your focus on what you do want. Because when you put your focus on what you do want, you give it life. But if you keep your focus on the past, you're giving it life. And I know there's a bunch of you out there right now, and you've had some crap happen to you in the past, and you keep bringing it into the future, and you keep reliving it over and over and over again. And when you focus on that past, what are you doing, gang? You're giving it life. And you're saying, oh, shut up, Lee. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that from you. Well, I really don't care. I'm not here to make people happy. I'm here to challenge people. I'm here to give people new ideas, ways to look at life, to maybe they can claim their power back, which is always with them. It's not like you don't have the power. The power to change is right within you, and it's where you focus. Where do you put your awareness? Awareness is everything. Everything that happens to us is about becoming more aware. Everything that happens to us about becoming more aware. So when we become more aware, we become experienced in the idea, oh, where I put my focus, I'm bringing it to life. Are you really hearing that today, gang? I know there's a bunch of you out there listening. Someone give me a comment. I got a lot of good mornings. I got a buongiorno from Italy. There's Kilgore out on the West Coast. Hey, Deb. Where do you put your focus? Ooh, now that Deb popped in, it took me back to Dearborn High, and it reminded me of a Bruce Springsteen song. Now, Bruce is coming to Dallas in February of next year. Guess who's got his tickets? Of course I do. Love the boss. But one of Bruce's songs, I'm sure you'll identify with it. It's called Glory Days. And it talks about how these guys go into a bar and the only thing they've got to talk about is the old days. What was it like playing football? What was it like doing this? We're living in those glory days. And what does that mean? It means not living in the now. Do you hear that? In the now, the past does not exist. Can you get that? In the now, the past does not exist. It's only existing when you bring it in. And what is that? And when you bring it in, do you have the experience of the past all over again? Yes. So think about that. Where we give our focus, we give life. Let me ask you this question. It's a really loaded question. Who makes the decision on where you put your focus? And don't tell me your mother. Don't tell me your dad. Don't tell me your spouse. Only you do. The problem is you've forgotten. We've all forgotten at times. We have just forgotten. Reverend Lee, when you fight or act irrational, how do you come back to center so you can be more aware and do not do that again? Well, Lotus, I'm going to tell you this like I tell everybody. Meditate. It brings you into the now. That's the purpose. It's not easy to learn to meditate. But I'll tell you, once you've got to practice, best thing in the world. I was sharing with my friend Naranjan the other day that since I came back from Dr. Joe Dispenza's 7-day advanced workshop, we did about 6 hours a day meditation. And I got into a groove. And so I came back, and so I'm averaging anywhere between 3.5 and 4 hours of meditation a day. I love it. I'm not missing anything. What I did is I cleared my calendar of all the bullshit I was doing. All the stuff that was meaningless in the scheme of life, I got rid of, and I created time. And I'm meditating. And Naranjan came to me and he said to me after the next day, he came to me and said, not everyone's going to have your experience because you've been meditating daily for 20 years. And so you just got enhanced by going to the 7-day advanced. And I said, exactly. I'm telling you that story because I don't want you to think that if you do what I do, you're going to have the exact experience I'm having right in this moment. No. It depends on where you are in your level of awareness. It depends on where you are in your meditation practice. You start small and you build. Deborah. Why would you focus on a man who doesn't want you? You're a hunk. You deserve a great man. You deserve a man to say, hey, look who's with me. I've got Deborah Kilgore Ernst. I'm proud to be with her. I'm honored to be with her. That's the focus you take into the world. Someone who doesn't want you, that's telling the world. You know what it is, Deborah? I'm just going to speak it. I don't know if I'm right. We so want to not be alone that we're willing to settle for someone in our life, when in reality, if we just took time, we'd have a better time with ourselves than being with someone who didn't want us, someone who was not a vibrational match to us. I don't know if that's true or not, but I see it all the time with people grasping on to relationships that are really not right for them. People being in a relationship because I don't want to be alone. There might not be something better out there. Ooh. Do you know what that tells me? Lack of self-worth. So here's what I've been telling everyone. Deborah, you seem to pop in today, and so you're steering me in a direction. I'm going there with you, girl. Here's what I would say. Deborah just said, no, I think I'm not ready for anyone right yet. When you have that opinion, you know what that means? It means it's time to dedicate. That's right, dedicate the next year, 1 year, to falling in love with yourself. That's right. Because until you can fall deeper in love with yourself, you can't attract another person that's going to be of meaning. And I would highly suggest that you get the book, The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz, and you master it. You master that book. It's the best book I've read on how to self-love. The best book I've read. I thought I'd write it. I read this. I said, no need to write it. Don Miguel has said it so perfectly here. The Mastery of Love. Dedicate. I don't know who's out there listening, but eventually a bunch of people do. Go buy the book. Dedicate the next year. I don't even care if you're in a relationship. I don't care if you don't want a relationship. I don't care if you're deathly ill. Get the book. And the more you self-love, the more you heal. You heal from the past wounds. The past wounds will heal your physical wounds. Everything heals when you love yourself. The Mastery of Love. Yes, Deb. That's the one. Talked a little longer today, but that's because my fellow former Dearbornite decided to have a chat with me today. And I'm grateful. I give you a big hug. I give all of you a big hug. And I want you to know, if you want to know how worthy you are, look at yourself through my eyes. Because I see that you have infinite potential and possibilities right now, no matter what your situation. And when you speak words that matter, words of expansion, of growth, you create a belief. And that's where you put your focus. And that's what you give life to. Make today your best day ever. Aloha.